Is this why we can't get treatment? What are they doing? Now imagine being a regular person.
Wait. Does Tim Pool think? Wait. Does Tim Pool really think that while people were waiting for care, there were nurses filming their TikTok videos? They were probably on break, dude. So, Tim Pool has been, in the past, Tim Pool has made some pretty bold predictions and a lot of really bold claims. Some of the ones that I like come to mind are like Squid Game was like anti-communist, and what was the really big one? It was something about Trump, I think, winning the election in 2020, and he really went out there on a limb. And let's take a little trip down memory road, shall we? To kind of relive a bit of 2020, and then we'll take a look at where he hasn't quite learned his lesson yet. He hasn't quite learned his lesson yet.
As of right now, I believe President Donald Trump is on track for a re-election victory and
Now, God damn it. Damn you, Richard Spencer. I can't even use your stupid video because it has fucking copyrighted music, you ass.
All right, they investigated a political rival. It is what...
Oh, no. What? Fine. I'll just YouTube it. Let's see. Fine. Tim Pool. I don't know. Trump 2020 prediction. See if I can find like a short for it. Under 4 minutes? No. Damn it. What's worse is I know the exact video I'm looking for. How is any of this related to what I typed, guys? I guess Michael Cohen. I guess that's vaguely related. Oh, wait. It would help if I, like, spelled correctly. Silly me. That would probably help. No. Wait, what? Republicans are sexy, Democrats are fat. They want to be cool so badly. What's it? Oh, he's talking about the Nazi thing. Oh, okay, right. Comments and attack on his family. Oh, man.
You get a Trump.
No, that's from like a month ago. I want his 2020 prediction. If I like Google it. Prediction? Yeah, because I remember it was like 50 state landslide. Oh, wait, is this it? Is this the video I wanted? The election's being rigged. Post-truth. Oh, no, this is text. I want the clips. Can I get clips? Is that a thing I can get? No, this is following. What is this one?
Election. I really don't see the Democrats winning this. I think it's fair to say.
Oh shit! There it is. Okay, found it.
I think Kamala and Biden might be throwaway candidates. They know they're going to get steamrolled in the election. I really don't see the Democrats winning this. I think it's fair to say Trump's going to win re-election. I think Trump might have a massive victory, which shocks the left. I think we're looking at a Trump victory, man. Trump 2020 landslide, even with everything
it's so
going
weird
on
how
with COVID,
pro-Trump he
that's
is.
what we can expect. I wouldn't be surprised at all if
Isn't he
Trump
supposed to be
had a 49-state landslide.
Didn't they always tell everybody he's a centrist?
Landslide. We may be looking at
maybe he's the kind of centrist that like
Mondale-Reagan
Sensible Center
type
over here
scenario
is.
where Trump landslides 49 states, and we may see a 49-state landslide.
I remember
Maybe
this.
a 50-state landslide. That would be amazing.
No.
I think we might be seeing a 49-state landslide. I just really think it's more likely that Trump wins 520 electoral votes. No amount of mail-in ballots will matter. If Trump gets 537 or 36 or even...
Okay, I think I've made my point before I get fucking DMCA strike. So Tim Pool never quite learned his lesson and is now trying to peddle some more he's really trying to manifest some pro-Trump wins. So let's take a look at this.
The Democrats are basically abandoning Joe Biden. And I can't blame them.
They are.
They shouldn't have picked him in the first place. Joe Biden only narrowly has any kind of appeal that would result in someone voting for him. And the reality is that most people just voted against Donald Trump. So
this
now
is
that we're
true.
entering the next
A lot of
election
people did.
cycle, we can see the longevity of Joe Biden was short-lived.
Keep in mind, if that was your real analysis, then your argument wouldn't be that you want to find a different candidate, or at the very least, your argument from like a right-wing standpoint wouldn't be that wouldn't be that you can beat him next time. Like, all you need to do is like, I should say, like, all you actually have to do is just find a different candidate other than Trump. Honest to God, like, that's all you really have to do. But like the problem that the Republican Party is having is that they can't not go with Trump. It's just not an option for them. Their base won't have it. So they're stuck in this like lose-lose scenario where if they don't run Trump, like, their base will turn on them. They will lose. If they do run Trump, they will just simply lose because so many people won't vote for Trump. And too many people are just like, whatever, Biden's just a default vote at this point. Like, if you want to chip away at Biden's support, you just have to field a better candidate, but they literally can't. Like, they're just kind of fucked in this regard. And all the
for
RFK
this, we are
Juniors in the
seeing
world
many
isn't going to
people
help.
rise up, namely Gavin Newsom in the prediction markets, but the polling suggests that
Gavin
RFK Jr. is actually in second place. Now, why is this? Well, a new poll has come out.
Well, probably because his name is probably because he's a Kennedy. That's like a big reason why he got such a big bump in the beginning, because people remember the Kennedys. And like, regardless if you were born, like, I was born in 92, well after the Kennedy name had really a lot of relevance in popular culture. And even I would be like, oh, a Kennedy is in the race, all right then. JFK was pretty cool. I mean, there's obviously things I probably disagree with, but like, fuck, people love JFK. But, the minute you start looking into RFK, it kind of begins to fall apart.
Discussing issues that we face today in the culture war, and lo and behold, guess what? Democrats do not agree with the Democratic Party's
funny?
position on these issues.
I just noticed
That
Tim
is
has
to
a
say,
VPN, but
the Democrats
is
are
VPN
embracing
not even
leftism
on?
and woke ideology that regular people do not care for. I love this story from...
Well, okay. So I really am enjoying, he's saying a lot of this. He's loading this intro with a lot of pretense. And the title of this article is RFK Jr. is surging only in polls among Republicans. Like, he's running a very Republican-friendly campaign. Being anti-vax is not going to shave off votes from Biden. It's just not going to happen.
From the Washington Post, RFK Jr. is surging only in polls among Republicans. Really? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Take a look at the prediction market.
Oh, I'm kind of
Who will win the 24?
The prediction market. What? Okay. First of all, why the prediction market? Can I get an understanding of this? Oh boy, oh buddy, I'm looking at some polling data right now on the side. Why prediction? What is this? Predict? What the fuck is predict it? What? What the fuck is this? Predict it? Prediction. Yeah, it's what, gambling? It's a gambling site. Range of available markets of which you can try to predict the outcome. What the fuck? New Zealand-based prediction market that offers exchanges on political and financial events. Predicted is owned and operated by Victoria University of Wellington. Company's office is located in DC. In 2014. Like, what? What is this really the best we can... Is this the best Tim Pool has? Is like a gambling site? Okay.
Democratic nomination.
Buy,
Joe
yes,
Biden, of
buy.
course,
Yeah, it's
has
a gambling
67 cents.
site.
I think it's a fair bet because we don't even know if there's going to be a primary or what the plan is. Gavin Newsom is a
when
fair
people
bet,
want to
but Robert
predict on
Kennedy
like
Jr.
wrestling
is
and
skyrocketing.
stuff, and they go to gambling
now at 13
sites, like
cents. And in the polls,
it's
he's hitting nearly
it's
20%.
wrestling, but like, come
If
on.
Donald Trump embraces RFK Jr., and a lot of people have talked about a potential Trump-Kennedy ticket, which seems like a long shot, a pipe
Hasn't he
dream.
already said he
Doubt it's
doesn't
gonna happen.
like or agree
But
with
that
Trump?
could steal a large portion of Democrats away from the Democratic Party, and they may end up voting Republican.
What's funny is also, so I'm like glancing at 538, what's funny is like you don't really get a lot of like we get some Trump DeSantis, which is cool. Wait. Oh God. Yeah, I mean look at this. Look at this. But you don't get a lot of Trump and DeSantis, but like and you get a lot of Biden Trump for the general, but not really anything in the primary. It's mostly all just approve, disapprove, which like his Biden's like approval numbers are not great, but like again contrasted with the fact that there isn't really another viable choice. I think people are a lot more open and willing to say that they're disapproving of Biden's job, but like given the circumstances, like this isn't, I don't know what it's, let's see if we can find out what it's asking, because I'm kind of curious. Let's see, updated average accounting for each poll's recency sample. Okay, do Americans approve or disapprove of Joe Biden? Right. Cool, but that's not even asking the question of would you vote for him again? Because like, do I approve of Joe Biden's job? I'm probably closer to 50-50. You know, ask me depending on the day and you might get like a couple different answers, but like certainly not in the strongly approved category. But like, what are my options? My options are Biden or RFK or Marianne Williamson, to which it's like, oh, it's an easy choice, Biden, easily. And like between Biden and Trump, that's even easier. Biden. That's also not hard at all. So like, what are we really measuring here? I mean, it's Biden to Biden, but like the thing that people are voting on is Biden versus another challenger. You know, devoid of that context, it's kind of irrelevant.
Of course, the Washington Post is saying it's only Republicans supporting RFK Jr. And to be fair, there are a lot of Republicans and moderates who are supporting him. But take a look at this poll from Political Polls. Do you think that Joe Biden is the strongest candidate that Democrats...
Where did they pull this from? Oh, YouGov Economist. Oh, is this one of the ones that I just looked at? Whatever, I don't care.
Democrats could nominate for president in 2024. Yes, he is. Say 20%. Wow. No, he is
crazy.
not. Say 61%. That's amazing. Even among Democrats.
What do you think the Trump numbers are? I'm actually kind of curious because I think a lot of Trump voters are starting to come to the realization that while they really like Trump, he's not a very good, like, he's a bit of a poison candidate at this point. And how many of them, like, the thing that you're betting on if you're a Democrat is that there's going to be some Republicans who are going to abstain from voting for Trump simply for the fact that they like want the party to move on and they don't think he's a viable candidate.
Joe Biden only hits around 40%, with 36% saying no. That's amazing. Dude.
Cool.
The Democrats are in serious trouble. And this Substack article breaks it down in a rather interesting way. I'd like to read for you this so you can understand.
Oh, the liberal patriot. Oh, I wonder who this guy is. What is his name? Roy Texera. RUI Tex. American political scientist. Such commentator, several books. I'm a bit curious. He is most noted for his work on political political demography. Sure, whatever. And particularly for the Emerging Democratic Majority, 2002, co-wrote with John Judas. Oh, so he's just like, okay. 99, he moved to, don't care about that. Texera is also a guest scholar, booking institution. Let's see. Senior Fellow, 03, became Senior Fellow, newly former Center of American Progress, headed by John Podesta, Chief of Staff for Bill Clinton, co-chair of Obama's transition team. So he's like an establishment lib then. Okay, cool. Wait, this is your, okay.
And guess what? You, my friends, watching this at home, you're the regular person. You're the average American.
Do
what
average
the media
Americans
is
watch
portraying
Tim
is a
Pool?
lie.
I find that to be hard to believe.
Wokeness is not popular. It never has been. But there's institutional capture because of clever activists The average person is saying enough. And if the Democrats embrace
What's funny is like Tim knows that his audience isn't like they're not like normies, are they? If you know who Tim Pool is, you're not like a political normie. You're at the very least like politically engaged in a way that like normies just aren't. Normies know who like maybe their senator is, maybe their representative, and like the president, and like they'll know the most popular senators or figures. But that's kind of it. But if you're a normie, you're not watching Tim Pool's show. No normie watches Tim Pool. Absolutely none.
this, they lose. Don't take my word for it. Let me show you this NBC News article.
Wait,
Most
we didn't
Americans
even read
oppose,
that. That's the
including
left
trans
versus-
athletes
okay.
in sports. Poll finds.
Cool.
Really? Well, that's strange. I was
Oh,
told
okay, we're
only
going back to it.
fascists disagree with that agenda. But maybe the reality is institutions are captured by loud, angry.
Wait, what was that? Wait. Because the American people, 7% of U.S. adults say transgender athletes should be allowed to compete only on sports teams that correspond with their sexes they were assigned at birth. Okay, all right. Let's talk about this because I think Jank and like TYT made this argument too that like the trans sports thing is a losing topic. So let me try and like quickly address this really quickly. The fact that the American people, in terms of polling that we can find, are less favorable toward trans people competing in these sports in which coincide with their gender, because that's, you know, they believe that it's more needs to be based on sex. At the end of the day, I think the American people can be moved on this for the simple fact that I would say trans people, in that they are citizens of the United States, should have full and equal access to sporting leagues, to bathrooms, to every other social accommodation that we have for everybody in this country. I do not believe that creating and I don't use this comparison lightly, a separate but equal league for trans people is fair, is what I would describe as freedom, and is certainly not in line with our appreciation of free society. I think that trans people should have the exact same amount of rights that gay people have, that straight people have, that black people have, that white people have, that Hispanics have, that everybody else in our society should. They should be able to compete regardless of all this nonsense. If there are issues with trans people competing in sports, then let that be up to leagues to decide. There are sports scientists, sports like medicine folks. There are people who are qualified to make these determinations, and I am perfectly fine with those boards coming to their own determinations. And what's funny is most of them all agree that there is a pretty fine line between what would and what wouldn't be allowable. You know, like at the end of the day, it also helps in my favor that most sports leagues also go, actually, we did the research, we looked into it. It's really not that significant. If you want a good example of this, look to Riley Gaines's prominence online and in media. She tied 5th place in a race amongst other cis women and a trans woman. The trans woman and her placed 5th place, being beaten out by 4 other cis women. So the idea that trans athletes are going to hold some distinct and like inherent advantage in any sport is ridiculous, especially when what sports are a competition of skill and a competition of athleticism. Like at the end of the day, look at any of your top Olympic athletes. They are freaks of fucking nature. Everybody who's in the NBA, everybody who's in the NFL, everybody who's like an Olympic gymnast, Olympic wrestlers, all of these people almost always are denoted as like built for this or that sport. At the end of the day, they're also sports. And I mean this when I say sports are supposed to be fun for people. And this obsession over like perfectly fair competition if let me if it was perfectly fair, there wouldn't be winners and losers. It's called competition. You compete. And look, if you want to say like, oh, you know, the American people, you know, it's just they're not with us on that. That's okay. I think they're wrong, and I'm going to try my hardest and use the rhetoric that I think gets people to my position, because I think freedom and equality is more important than like some feigned belief in freedom in sports or I'm sorry, or fairness in sports. I don't think that that's really a thing we need to strip rights away from people. You know, I don't think that's the grounds in which we should distinguish a second-class citizenry in this country. It's just not. And if you want to abandon that cause, if you want to say it's too hard, then that's okay. But just cop to the fact that you think it's too hard to argue, and that it's like not, you know, you're not strong enough. Just say that. Anyway, also, I know Tim Pool's going to say that, you know, oh, so does that mean the American people are fascists? No, not at all. The American people have not come to an opinion. They have not developed this understanding of trans people, I think. And that's okay. The problem is, and where you can tell a fascist, is where they've come to an understanding and have decided that under that understanding, they are now going to use that to undermine a group of people's existence in our society. That's the difference. Tim Pool is a transphobe because Tim Pool understands what being trans is and actively lies about it and stirs up hatred towards them, stirs a notion that these people are predators, that they are dangerous, even though Tim Pool understands all of this and can't point to anything more than minute anecdotes to make his point about trans people. The only thing he can look to, much like Patrick Bet David the other day, is on approval polling, to which approval polling does not tell us anything about the validity of a person or a group of people. So anyway, continuing.
O's, including trans athletes in sports, poll finds. Really? Well, that's strange. I was told only fascists disagree with that agenda. But maybe the reality is institutions are captured by loud, angry activists, and they think because of commercial endeavors of major corporations, this is what Americans want. And then they're surprised to find things like Loudoun County. No, parents don't want this stuff around their kids.
Oh, by the way, the thing he's referencing in Loudoun County is the fact that a cis, not trans boy raped one of his classmates in a bathroom. That's pretty much it. And he did so and made some excuse or something about wearing a dress or something. I'm not really, I vaguely remember the Loudoun story, and it was pretty uninteresting. Actually, should we look it up? Should we look it up really quickly? Let's look it up really quickly. I don't want to disinfo here. Let's look it up. Loudoun County. If I just do trans with that, let's see. I can't read that one. Reason Magazine? Yes. Let's see. Perpetrator did not target a random student. He did not choose the girl's bathroom because of his gender identity. Yes, yeah, okay. In June, a male student in a skirt reportedly assaulted a female classmate in a public school bathroom in Loudoun County, Virginia. It was a story that appeared to confirm, blah, 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 but it was substantially misreported in order to fit a conservative social agenda. Anyone on the right who makes a habit of complaining, often justifiably, about the mainstream media gullibly succumbing to viral stories that fit the prior ought to denounce it as well. Smith, the father, was arrested for loudly protesting at a school board meeting on June 22nd. Cops bloodied him, placed him in handcuffs, and charged him with obstruction of justice and disorderly conduct. Where is this outrage when it happens to black people all the time? Anyway, when it later emerged that Smith was angry with the school district's officials because he thought they weren't doing anything about his daughter's rape, he became a conservative folk hero and was interviewed repeatedly by right-leaning media. The Daily Wire led the charge, seizing on the opportunity to embarrass both the mainstream media and the federal government. Daily Wire's interview, Let's see. The attacker was convicted of what certainly sounds like vicious and violent behavior, but he did not target a random student. He did not choose the girl's bathroom because of the gender identity. Obviously, the fact that the girl had previously had consensual sex with the male target does not mean that the May 28th incident was not a rape or that it should be treated more leniently, but it does mean, at the very least, that the boy did not ambush the random girl after using his supposed gender fluid status to enter the bathroom. He and the victims had been using it for prior sexual encounters. So let's be really, really clear. What actually happened was a incredibly toxic young male assaulting one of his classmates, and doing so by using the excuse that they're gender fluid to gain access to the bathroom, even though I can almost guarantee you there was probably not a resource officer posted at every bathroom, let alone the one he was going into. So most likely it didn't actually have very much with him being gender fluid. Seems like it was mostly just an excuse. So if we're really talking about like what parents are upset about, in this case, it's parents upset about a cis kid, what's the word? Pretending to be trans and then assaulting somebody. Often this is heralded as some like, oh, you see, like we can't have, we can't have trans people because you can't tell, because we have all these cases of rape in women's restrooms. Well, most of those seem to happen from what's the word I'm looking for? Are perpetrated by cis people. So it's almost like it's a cis people's problem. Crazy that, right?
Check out this story. Rai Teixeira says, on Tuesday, John Halpern introduced our new survey project on the important issues and political ideas shaping the 2024 presidential election. He recounted some of the findings. He says, I'll do the same here. Taking immigration first, we asked voters to choose from 3 options. 1, people around the world have a right to claim asylum, and America should welcome more immigrants to the country. 2, America needs to secure its borders and create more legal and managed immigration paths. And 3, America needs to close its borders.
Wait, why'd you stop there? Paths to bring in skilled professionals or workers to help our economy grow, or America needs to close its borders to outsiders to reduce all levels of immigration.
Outsiders and reduce all levels of immigration. Under a quarter chose the first option. That is
24%.
People around the world have a right to claim asylum. Only 24%.
Also keep in mind the idea that like people, the problem. So my issue with the first question, and this guy's a sociologist, I'm sure he could explain it, but to me these are kind of 2 different topics, because I can believe that I think people have a right to claim asylum, because that's kind of, people have a right to do that, I think. And what, like, because one of them is kind of like an approval of an act, and the other one is like what America ought to do, which are 2 really like separate things. Like what others do and how and what we should do as a response would be different. I feel like this should just start as, this should just be America should welcome more immigrants. I don't like the way this first one's phrased, but you know,
people around the world have a right to claim asylum.
That's my
Only
own.
24% agreed with that.
That's my own gripe.
Check
that's
this
just
out.
my thing.
Emphasizing the right to asylum, admitting more immigrants, which is closely associated with the Democratic Party. By far, the most popular option was the second one.
So it needs to secure its border and create more legal and manage. So yeah, the thing that we have right now, like yeah, okay.
Emphasizing borders.
So what you're telling me is, what is this? Basically 60, 25. So what is that? Like, God, I'm bad at math. 85. So we're looking at 83% said what? So only 17%. Oh, the number's right there. We're like, close the border. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Security and skilled migration. 59% favored. Only 17 wanted the draconian issue. And you know what?
Yeah.
How much do you want to bet? Most of you watching would take a similar approach. We must secure our borders, and we can create legal managed paths to immigration. That's been my position the whole time.
Yeah, it's called
I say this,
the asylum
everyone
process.
should come to America. Every single person in the world. That's right, all 8 billion. But they gotta come here legally.
Wait.
That means
he does know that, like, what's it called? Like, a managed immigration path is called asylum. And the reason why we have a really backed up asylum process, which is leading to a lot of illegal immigration, is because of the reforms that the Trump administration put in. Like, because they gummed up the system by like not hearing people or making them stay in like Mexico and stuff like that. Because of some of those policies, it's kind of gummed up the process. Also, if you don't have enough immigration judges, to hear all of the cases. There's also kind of that little bit of it.
It means they won't be allowed to. It means that the people who apply and get approved so we can manage
Also, I don't get what the problem is.
the admission
I've
of
yet
these
to
immigrants,
see.
then they can come in, but it will be controlled because, let's be honest, 8 billion people would destroy the country. You can't maintain a system like that. That's why.
Wait, what do you mean you can't maintain a system like that? We have 3 point something. What do we have? 300, not 3 point. We have what, 375 million people in this country or something like that? I don't know what the current U.S. population is. Let's find out. I'm kind of curious. Current U.S. population. Oh, never mind. What am I saying? Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, this is as of 2021. Do we know? 336 million. Okay. That's even less than I thought. I thought we were 40 million above. Never mind. Or no, not 4 million. No, wait, what did I say? No, yeah, 40 million. Yeah. Yeah, we could take more people in. Fuck yeah. More taxpayers, more tax revenue. What's the problem?
You need secure borders and legal systems. Now, check this one out. Turning to climate and energy. 1, we need a rapid green transition. 2, we need an all-of-the-above strategy. And 3, we need to stop the push to replace domestic oil. Once again, the Democratic identified first position, emphasizing ending the use of fossil fuels.
Wait, once again, the Democratic identified first position, emphasizing ending. Wait. Is this just the party is ahead of its voters? Is that really all we're doing here? Is that the party has said, hey, our top goal is to, rapidly reduce fossil fuel burning. That's our that's like the thing that we're aiming for. And our voters are like, yeah, like that's cool. Like voters, I kind of feel like voters to a degree always are going to be a little bit more reserved in their policy prescriptions, mainly because they're not the decision makers. So like, you kind of have to sell them on that sort of stuff. What's weird is like, if Tim Pool really wanted to do this, like where the Democratic Party is out of step with the American people on, you know where he would look for? Medicare for all support in the Democratic Party. If you want to see like a real stark look at an issue that the Democratic Party is uninterested in where its voter base is at, look at Medicare for all. Because like the Democratic Party is fine with having a position that is pro green energy, that is enthusiastic about the reduction of fossil fuel burning. Like they're totally cool with that sort of stuff. But the minute you introduce, or like you have a candidate that's talking about Medicare for all or college for all or any of the really progressive stances, that's when they get a little bit more nervous. What they're more in favor of are like really centrist, business friendly cookie cutter policies. And the stuff that they're even that they've identified or that they've said are their big tickets. Like think about it. Biden wants to say like, oh, I'm, big on energy. I'm a big green energy guy, right? And he wants points for that. But like, have we made that much progress under Biden in terms of the greenification of our energy grid? No, we have not. We've made some efforts and certainly like, we've made progress, but like, was it the change that we all like would want to see under a Bernie? No. But it's also not an issue that like, everybody that's like at the top of everybody's minds anyway. Like unfortunately climate change is not this like right now in the moment thing for everybody. It should be, but it's not. So Democrats are comfortable with taking a stronger position on that because then they can kind of cut back a little and meet their base where they're at a little bit more. But regardless, it's like bad for us either way.
Was embraced by only 29% of voters. Amazing. The most popular position is the second. Hey, look at that. Moderate approaches. Yes, I agree. We want oil and gas. We want renewables. We want nuclear power. We want to be energy independent. I think the most interesting thing was the issue on transgender individuals, because this is one of the core tenets of wokeness right now. And this is the one that shows you how out of touch the left.
Oh, my God. I'm really tired of wokeness. I just want to sleep more. More sleep, less woke.
Is. Because this one gets interesting. Check this out. The distance from the center is even more obvious when we take a look at voter views on transgender controversies.
Also keep in mind, Rai Texera, the dude whose Substack article this is, keep in mind also, it seems like this poll was conducted by people who read his Substack article, because from what I can gather, like based on the, I don't know, can I read this? Can I read this specific thing? I'm pretty sure like you have to have a thing, right? Liberal patriot, like I have to be is it this? Can I read this? No. Continue reading. Okay, I can read this. Cool. Our new survey project, our initial 3,000 voter survey in 2024. Oh, it's okay. It's a YouGov one. Okay, cool. Introducing the 2024 Patriot Index. So they just have their own little like survey thing. Biden versus Trump horse race. I wonder why Tim didn't mention this. Same guy. 7% are unsure. You can almost believe, like, if these numbers held, you can believe that's probably going 4-3 Biden. So yeah. Would currently back incumbent. Yeah, like, it's kind of funny that if Tim clicked on one of these links, it would kind of undermine his entire. Let's take a look. What do we got here? What is this? Looking at combined love, hate. That's weird. That's a bit weird. Weird way to word that. Either way, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this cuts really against Trump's not Trump. Fucking Tim's whole like point. Currently holds a marginal lead in the re-election. Yeah, like he holds a marginal lead now. Imagine what happens when they get on stage again. Like, woof. But yeah, like this doesn't. It's 3,000 people. That's not like a bad number or anything. I just don't know where they're sourcing it from. If they're sourcing it from the same place YouGov sources it from, then I guess it's fine. Transition. But like either way, this dude is like a hardcore like establishment Democrat. I don't know why Tim's even looking to this guy. He should hate this guy.
Here are 3 choices we offered voters. 1, states should protect all trans youth by providing access to puberty blockers and transition surgeries if desired, and allowing them to participate fully in all activities and sports as the gender of their choice.
Makes
Number
sense.
2, states
Also keep in mind, like, take transgender youth out of this and just put all people. Like, you would go like, yeah, of course, everybody should have access to whatever medicine, like, is applicable to them. Like, everyone should, I don't know, I just believe in equality. Maybe that's, I know that might just be a real lefty take there. I just
protect
like
the
equality.
rights of transgender adults to live as they want, but implement stronger regulations on puberty blockers, trans surgeries, and sports participation for trans minors.
Also, this
Or,
hinges
number 3,
on the idea
states
that
should ban
everybody
all
has
gender transition
all
treatments
information.
for minors and stop
Which
discussion
guys like
of
Tim
gender
Pool
ideology
have
in
made
schools.
it their mission to make sure
first
that
position,
people don't have
emphasizing availability of medical treatments
consistent
for
and
transgender
honest
children.
information.
And sports participation directed by gender self-identification is unquestionably the
Oh yeah, like look at this, euphemistically referred to as gender affirming care. It's not euphemistically, that's what it's called. Like maybe in the science terms it might not be, but like that is what it is. Like it's affirming their gender. Yeah, like
default position of the Democratic Party today. Indeed, to dissent in any way from this position in Democratic circles is enough to earn one of the sobriquet of hateful bigot or worse. Yet only about a quarter, 26% of voters
these people are
endorse this
so
position.
disconnected.
Indeed, the
from,
most popular position
from
of the
normal
3
people.
is the most draconian, that medical treatments for trans kids should be banned. As should
Oh my God, Tim. Was Tim a theater kid? He strikes me as a theater kid. He puts on such a show when it's a transition. Did you guys notice that? like the way he grids his teeth on the trans issue, like it is personal for him. A quarter, 26% of voters endorse this position. Indeed, most popular position of 3 is the most draconian.
Discussion of gender ideology in public schools.
That's embraced by 41%
That's embraced
of
by
voters.
41% of
And a third
voters.
of voters.
Another third of
favor the
voters favor
second,
the second position,
advocating- yeah.
advocating stronger regulation. Together, the
Yeah.
latter two positions make it 3-1 among all voters against the Democratic position. That's right.
Wait, huh? Because 26, because if you have 26 in the other one, then that's 2/3 that are for trans rights. Just one of them is a little bit less, slightly more restrictive than the other. Like 41 would still be like the third. There should be 4 options. There should be like a tepid support. There should be like full support, tepid support, tepid, I guess, rejection, full rejection. But okay.
You are the regular person. Now, why is it then that YouTube would censor us? Why is it that these big tech companies would shut down our videos, delete our speech? They do not represent this country.
Has Tim Pool
These are
been
captured
shut
institutions.
down
You know what? This is why
or
we're winning.
censored?
Because they live
I don't
in
get
a
it. Tim
fake
Pool has said a
bubble
lot
world.
of anti-trans
They
stuff.
live in this world where they've crafted
over the
a reality
last,
of their own
couple of years
refuse.
or
I've
so.
talked about this with Jack
I don't
Dorsey.
remember him getting
Once Twitter was the free
getting nuked
speech
for
wing of the
that.
Free Speech Party. And then he created this prominent network of verified journalists who all started crapping in each other's mouths. A sewer
Well, that's an
of
unfortunate
deranged information
what's the word I'm
circling
looking for?
among
Visual?
themselves, not among the general public. And he started consuming that information in his own circles. He plagued his own mind. And that
Wait. Are we analogous? Are we making analogy of the regular American and Jack Dorsey, the creator of Twitter? Really? Jack Dorsey is the normal man in this story? The guy who has access to basically all information that he could ever have wanted? What? Tim, these are not analogous. The normal American doesn't even probably doesn't interact with anybody trans on a one-to-one basis. It's probably like friends or coworkers as family members.
then started enforcing policies based upon his plagued mind. And what happened? An implosion. Donald Trump emerges.
Ugh.
People were sick and tired of this. Take a look at this. A mere 18% of moderate voters back the Democratic position. In contrast, a healthy 47% favor the stronger regulation of trans medical treatments.
Wait.
Another
A mere
35
18% of moderate voters back the Democratic position. Is this supposed to be moderate voters? In contrast, a healthy 47% favor the stronger regulations of transgender medical treatment approach. And another 35% want transgender medical treatments banned for children. And only 15% of independents are in favor of gender-affirming care, of the gender-affirming Democratic position, while roughly equal proportions, 42 and 43% respectively, back the middle regulatory approach in the total ban.
5% wants trans treatments banned for children. That's amazing.
And they're obvious.
35% of moderates
the
say
questions where
ban it outright.
these unpopular views
Surprised?
came
I'm not.
from. Part of the answer is that not all
The rather startling unpopularity of
Democrats
Democratic
have been
positions in
enthusiasts
these
for those
areas
positions,
and their
but the ones
obvious
that have
distance from the views of the electoral
been
center
punch-
raises the
punch-
question of
punch
where
way
these
above their weight in the
unpopular views
party.
came from. Part of the answer
Consider
is
how
that
the
not
views of
all
very liberal
Democrats have been
Democrats almost-
enthusiasts for these positions, but the ones that have
it's
been
almost
punched
like the
way above their
Democratic
weight in
Party
the
is
party.
not very
I can answer that
aren't the
question
really
for you.
best advocates for their own
It's
fucking
a
positions.
correlation. It's a relationship. You see,
A relationship,
tech
you say?
promotes content
Uh-huh.
that advocates for these views. Democratic politicians seeking more viewership and more popularity will advocate for these views, creating a cycle where people like AOC say insane things, gain more followers, become more prominent,
What's the
causing
insane
big
thing?
tech to favor this view.
What's funny is I don't think I've even seen a lot of AOC tweets about trans people. I couldn't tell you an AOC tweet about trans folks. I can if you want to trace back AOC's popularity, it's gonna come from her speeches on labor and on more working class issues. But in terms of trans stuff, she while she is from what I think it's an educated guess. to say that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a supporter of trans people. By no way would I say that that's like the core or center of her politics. It's just a bit weird that like that's who he picks out. Like if you want to pick somebody who that's the core of their politics, then I don't know, pick oh fuck, what is her name? Is she out of Wisconsin? Ah, damn it. She's a state senate member, maybe state house in Wisconsin. Zoe Zephyr, that's what it is. Like somebody who like trans rights are obviously a core part of her platform, then like that's somebody. And like, do you think most Democrats would be in favor of her or not? And I think it's a pretty strong, I think I'm pretty safe in saying if you presented Democrats with somebody like Zoe Zephyr, they would be in pretty strong support of her. You know, it just hasn't been something that I think the party has really communicated like properly on yet.
Again, in an ever-increasing spiral of insanity. There were hearings on social media.
Also, Tim really
And
like
Republicans asked Twitter
like,
why it is that when you log
gets hung
into
up
Twitter,
on the chicken
it
or the egg
default
stuff,
recommends
doesn't he?
Democrat politicians.
every time he says like
have an
this
answer.
thing happens and
No,
then this
our
thing
algorithm just
happens,
does it. And there it
I
is.
always kind of be like, wait, how
This
did
is
that
what is
happen before
creating
this?
The psychosis in people today.
The
We talked about a
psychos.
story the other day. A doctor was was posting videos of surgeries
Remember one doctor.
on TikTok.
Um,
These people
isn't that illegal?
are insane. Remember all the dancing nurses during COVID? Dancing on the corpses of the COVID dead? I'm not even exaggerating.
Bring it down, Tim. Bring it. I know you're a theater kid, but I need you to bring it down a bit.
One of the videos of the dancing, they were carrying a fake body with a toe tag and they were dancing. That's psychotic.
Is it?
Absolute psychotic derangement.
Sounds like something
Dancing
off
in
of,
a hospital. There's one video
what's it called?
where people are filming them do this dance and they're like, what's going on?
Sounds like something
Is
from
this why we
Beetlejuice.
can't get treatment? What are they doing? Now imagine being a regular person.
wait. Does Tim Pool think? Wait. Does Tim Pool really think that while people were waiting for care, there were nurses filming their TikTok videos? They were probably on break, dude. Like, all of you need to take a fucking chill pill. By the way, there are 1,077,115 physicians in America. And he found one that posted one video, I guess. A video. Like, understand, this is the lunacy we're working with here. Where Tim Pool goes, we have doctors, and there's only one. Posting videos of surgeries. There's one. There's like 1 million doctors in the country. That it is so disproportionate.
Your arm's broken.
Somebody get
You're
this
saying you're
man
gonna
a
have to wait,
dictionary.
sir. And then you see a bunch of nurses dancing and doing stupid TikTok garbage. Wow. Yeah, you're gonna be like, what is happening to this country?
Yeah, what does he think happens whenever like retail workers at Starbucks are dancing? Does he think that they're like actively ignoring their customers? Like they're like, hold on, I know you need your grande frappuccino. Give me a moment. Okay. Now let's go back to it. Like, no, you fucking idiot. They obviously do this shit during breaks, during down periods. Fucking probably when the place is closed or when they're off and they just wear their uniforms. Like, stop being stupid, Tim. I mean, I don't know if you can do that, but I don't know how one turns that off, but
What's happening in this country? Social media has made these people insane.
social
The
media
Democratic
does
Party
make
now
people
espouses views
silly.
that make no sense.
Also,
that
during
nobody
COVID,
supports,
God, I
and they're
would
hoping
want
that
people to
their
get some
influence
levity
grows
in
on
their
these
life.
platforms, and the younger generation adopts these views. I don't think so.
Like, my
Sound of
friend
freedom
works
is
in
winning.
the
Apps
ER,
like Public Square are taking over.
and
So,
man, some
you
of the
know,
stories from like the
I don't see
COVID
them
era,
winning.
when I'd ask him how it was
They're
going,
aborting and sterilizing their kids. Okay.
Disturbing.
The end result is obvious. This is why Joe Biden is being rejected for a
Wait,
variety
aren't you?
of reasons.
Wait,
Why RFK
okay.
Jr.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, Tim. Aren't you like supposed to be pro-abortion or something?
sterilizing their kids. Okay. The generation adopts these views.
Uh-huh.
I don't think so. The sound of freedom is winning. Apps like Public Square are taking over. So, you know, I don't see them winning.
Wait. The sound of okay. All right. I will take every opportunity. Every single opportunity I can to expose the cope that is Tim Pool and the Sound of Freedom. Let's take a look. All right. We got oh no, it's down? Why is it down? Did something else come out? Oh yeah, Mission Impossible. It's actually really funny because like these guys will be like, "Oh yeah, Sound of Freedom. Oh yeah." Even though like you know, it's stiffest competition already at its first weekend. Like we already went over this, but like yeah, it like it hasn't had competition yet. It's going to fade now because Mission Impossible just came out. Like it's Mission Impossible, guys. The movie got released in between Indiana Jones and Mission Impossible. In between that window is where it's performing. They chose a release window that would give it the most, the greatest chance to make as much money as it can. Good strategy does not mean that it's like some runaway hit. Chill the fuck out. Jesus. But they gotta cope. I mean, they have to cope about this. They have to be
popular.
popular.
And sterilizing their kids. Okay, the end result is obvious. This is why Joe Biden is being rejected. For
Oh,
a
hey, the
variety
leftist
of
mafia
reasons.
is
Why
on.
RFK Jr. is rising in the polls. Is RFK Jr. perfect? Absolutely not. He's actually fairly bad in a lot of ways. No joke. That's policies. But I'd rather see him lead the Democratic
Like
Party
every
than Joe
mild
Biden.
left-ish
I
policy
want to
that
see
he
people
has.
snap out of the spell of the algorithmic nightmare. Maybe we'll see it. I'll leave it
No,
there.
you don't,
Next
Tim.
segment's coming up at 4 p.m. I'm sorry, 6.
Tim, stop lying. No, you don't. You know you don't want people to wake up from the algorithm. The algorithm is what keeps you employed. Please, 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 spare me the crocodile tears. All right. You know the thing? You know the thing that they tell, you know, like at the end of all YouTube videos where they tell you to like click on one of these like things to watch more videos. Yeah, I've been meaning to film one of those. So that's what I was doing. I was just setting it up to film one